Good morning to everybody. Today we will discuss solid state electronics, and that is an important part of the MSc final third semester. Reference for this contents we are using K. Seeger, SMG and MS Tyagi. Today we will discuss carrier transport in semiconductor. What means of the carrier? What is the transport of the carrier and how they transport the carrier in semiconductors? Basic carrier. For what carrier? We are in the electronics, we are using carrier for the charge. There we are using charge carrier. Transport means that is to movement from one point to other point in semiconductors. So the main base of this topic is that the movement of the charge carrier in semiconductor. So in semiconductor there are the two types of charge carrier. Number one, holes in electronics. As we have discussed in the BSc part second, there are the vacancy of the electrons is called the hole, and the electrons we know very well, that is the basic particles, fundamental particles. So in the semiconductors both are the charge carrier. They move in the opposite directions, but they carry the current in the same directions on applying external electric field. In classical mechanics we can use their behavior by considering effective mass, but their exact behavior can be discussed only by quantum mechanics analysis. So now the transport behavior of the holes and the electrons can be discussed in semiconductor, or you can see there are the two types of the movement of the charge carrier, or there is the two types of the carrier transport phenomena. Number one by drift and second by the diffusion. As per we know, what means of the drift? Due to the motion of charge carrier under action of the applied electric field or the magnetic field, or we can say on applying the external electric field or the magnetic field, the charge carrier, electron as well as the hole, both will move. This process of the transport of the carrier is called the drift. In another, diffusion. Here the motion of the charge carrier due to the gradient in charge carrier, or we say there are the different concentration present inside the semiconductor. Just like if the P and N are connected, then the P have the high numbers of the electrons, holes, and the N have the high number of electrons. So the electron will be diffused from N to P, and the holes will be diffused from P to N. So this type of the transportation of the charge carrier is called the diffusion, and it can be discussed by graded doping or injection of the carrier by the suitable substances. OIB means if you want to obtain this carrier gradient, then it may be with the gradient doping, or it may be produced by the injection of the carrier by a suitable source. We can inject the majority charge carrier at a particular points, then we can change the concentration of these two, and due to that one the charge carrier can be moved. So today we will be discuss one part of it, that is the carrier drift. Motion of or the transport of the carrier under action of the electric field or the magnetic field or the both. Now first part of this one is the drift of carrier in an electric field. A very simple case, as we have discussed earlier in the UG classes. At low electric field, the drift velocity Vd, because this is the drift velocity, so we have to note it. The notation of this one is the Vd is proportional to the electric field. The proportionality constant is here is called the mobility of the charge carrier. So we can say Vd is directly proportional of the E, and mu is the mobility. So Vd equal to mu E. On applying electric field E, the force is, we know very well that if the charge is the minus q, then F equal to minus QE, that is the force, and this is equal to me dv by dt, that is by the Newton's equations, Newton's second law, me dv by dt. Here the v is the electron velocity, m is the conductivity effective mass. This is for the ideal case. In real case, in real crystal, what happens? There are many imperfections are there, many demerits, many impurities are there, many defects are there. So due to the presence of the imperfection, it may be the lattice atom, it may be the other electrons present of this one, impurities, defects, many imperfections are there. This crystal imperfection cause local change in the periodic potential, because vacancy or excess charge, any imperfection produce a group of the charge carrier or the vacancy of the charge carrier. So we say there is the imperfection is that it produce the periodic potential, it will be disturb this one, and set up the electric field. When the electrons passes through this near this imperfection, it causes interaction and change direction of electron motion. This is scattered by the imperfections. So we can assume that there may be any imperfections, and due to this presence of the imperfections, over the normal behavior of the electrons will be changes, and due to this one the path of that will be changes. Now the motion of the electron under the thermal equilibrium. Let us consider there is no electric field is there. For first case, only the thermal energy is responsible for the propagation of the electrons. So like this figure, the electrons can be moved from the one point to other point, and after the collisions it will be change the direction and so on. It will be the zigzag path of this one. As in thermodynamics in the UG classes we have discussed that have the zigzag or random motion of this one. So random scattering, but the net motion is 0, because here see the net average velocity is 0, because there will be does not propagate in the particular directions. In the same case collision, it will be energy in the other, all will be the energy gain between this one is the lose in by the collisions. So net rate of the exchange is 0, that is average velocity is also 0. So for the random thermal motion we can use the random thermal velocity, V thermal equal to root of the 3 kT by the m. K is Boltzmann constant, T is the absolute temperature, m is the mass of the electrons, and this may be nearly equal to 10 to power meter 10 to power 5 meter per second at the room temperature. In other case, on other sides, in presence of this thermal equilibrium, if we applied an external electric field, now the motion of the electron under the influence of the external electric field, now there is a change in the path of it, where in the thermal motion, that is the charge carrier move in a line along the straight line, but here that may be the curve, because due to the external electric field a force is also applied. Now we can see in this figure the electrons will be moved, but now the presence of electric field, and after the some time having the different collisions, it will propagate in the particular directions, and that is along the electric field. Let us suppose the distance between the initial and final point, the starting point and the final stopping potential distance point is the L. Now we have considered the time between the two collisions is T days, and T was considered as in the thermal motion. When electric field is applied to the crystal, electrons are excited by the E during this motion between the collisions. As a result of the free path becomes curve, that is in place of the line. Electrons travel a net distance L after some time. This motion is called drift motion. During or the between the two collisions, electrons gain energy from the electric field and transfer to the lattice in form of the Joule heating to the crystal. So, in this process, the energy by the charge carrier is gained by the electric field, and the same energy can be lost to the crystal by Joule heating. So, in the presence of electric field, the net velocity of electrons VE vector is equal to VD vector plus V thermal. Here VE vector is the net velocity of the electrons, VD vector is drift velocity due to the electric field, and the V thermal vector is equal to the thermal velocity. If there is no change in the mean free path, then the increase in the velocity of the electron increases. Number of collisions will be also fast, more frequent. So, on increase in electric field, velocity also increases because it will move fast. More collisions, more energy transfer to lattice. So, that is a behavior of the charge carrier inside this one on applying the electric field. If we increase the value of electric field, velocity also increases, number of collisions will be also increases, and you can see in this case the large energy is transferred to the lattice. So, electron and the hole cannot get accelerated to any limits but gain an average velocity. As we think that on applying the external electric field, the velocity can be increased up to the upper limit, a large limit. It is not possible because there is also the responsible that will be decrease the energy, and that is the collisions. So, the collision acts as a resistive force that increases with increase in the velocity, like viscous force. As we have discussed, the viscous force in the fluids motion in the UG classes, F viscous equal to 6 pi eta RV. V is the velocity, and this is the viscous force is the opposite force. So, on increasing the velocity, the viscous force is also increases, or we can say resistive power is increases. Similarly, in this case, on increase in electric field, number of collisions will be increases, and we say the force is also increases, and due to this will be maintain a constant average velocity. So, in crystal we can obtain the net equation for the motion of electrons, F equal to me dv by dt plus gamma v function of the A, velocity is the function of A. Here gamma ve is the constant of proportionality, gamma and resultant velocity v are the function of the electron energy only, not electric field, because the high energy is gained, then the net the energy will be decided what is the net velocity of this one. At low electric field, Vd very much less than the V thermal does not affect the electric field. So, in that case we can write F equal to me dVd E function of the energy by the dt plus me vde by the tau E. Here the acceleration is form of the velocity by the time, and here the tau is relaxation time, tau c, it is for the collisions. So, this is denoted by the tau c, function of the E equal to the me by the gamma E. So, after attaining the steady state, forces, if we consider this case, after attaining the steady state, the force is abruptly removed, then F equal to 0, we can obtain this equation, dvd function of the E by dt plus vde function divided by the tau c function of the E equal to 0. So, on rearranging we say dvd by the vd equal to minus dt by the tau. On integrating it, we obtain log vd equal to minus t by the tc plus constant of integration c, and at the vd e0 equal to e raised to power minus t by tau c. At t equal to 0, we have supposed vd equal to vd e0. So, finally we can obtain this equation Vd function of the E and T is equal to Vd E 0 function of the E and 0 e raised to power minus t by the tau c e, and this show that the velocity, drift velocity of the electron decreases exponentially with respect to the time, and the Vd E0 is the drift velocity when the t equal to 0, force is just remote. So we can conclude, in the absence of the electric field, carrier exerts random motion of at the carrier move quickly through the semiconductor and frequently changes the direction. On applying electric field, the random motion still occurs, but in addition there is an average or the net motion along the direction of the field. Due to the electric field, electron as well as the hole move in the average particular directions of the applied field. Applied Newton's law, and that's when we can say F equal to ma m dv by dt average, because we are using the average. This force consists of the difference between the electrostatic force and the scattering force due to the loss of the momentum at the time of the scattering. Force is equal to the momentum divided by the average time between the scattering levels or the collisions, tau c. So F equal to QE minus M average of the V by the TC. Q is the force due to electric field, that is increases the force in particular directions, and this is the second force is the resistive force, which is decreases the net force. Combining both relative relations, the average particles is, we say Q equal to M d average V by the dt plus M V average by the tau c. For steady states solutions, net acceleration is 0, no net acceleration for this one. So this is the minus Q equal to M V average by the tau c. V average equal to minus Q tau c by the M multiplied by the E, and this is called V average equal to minus mu E, where mu is the mobility of the charge carrier.